Now on Fantasia, I'm gonna see if I can sip up some sensitivity here. No, it didn't work. Fuck you. Like, for real, fuck you. Like, I was the biggest. That's the only year of American Idol I watched when Fantasia won, because I was, you know, my heart was so in that real place with her. When she sang, it was so real. She did a lot, you know, people say she did a lot of holler, a little too much hollering. She really did. But it was coming from a real, it's coming all from deep into her gut and diaphragm and all up and through her pelvis and vagina and stuff. It was coming up. When she sings, she brings, oh, she just sing with her gut. So and you can't help but feel that. If you are a human being, you gotta feel that, even if you don't like it or her music. So yeah, I was super duper Fantasia fan. I mean, to the point, check, Creaky went to her first CD signing and got CDs, two, like one for each of us, so we could go and have her sign it the next day. So he went to get the CDs and the arm bracelets. That's how big I was, because he didn't watch TV. You know, I don't watch TV either, but I watched Idol that year, and he went and he came home with CDs and wrist bracelets to go to her CD signing. You know, even though he knew it was unlikely that we would go, because we don't do well with a bunch of stray folks. But anyway, I was gonna go. I was gonna slip her a little note, tell her, you know, if you want to get away from the madness, you're welcome to my home or whatever. That's why you gotta take your time and get to know people. You just don't know. So, and it has nothing to do with the idea that she might have potentially fell for my husband. I don't have that kind of insecurity, and he is not like that. But you know, that's not something an issue I have to worry about. But she just weak, and she got nothing but bullshit about her and around her. And I think she really is a genuine person, but she been fucked up her whole life. And so anyway, in this case, she chose to be the other woman, and her little heart broke because she got some issues to deal with while dating a married man. Really? Really? Fuck you and your broke heart. Really? And then she want to commit suicide. Really? Pull the trigger, bitch. Pull the trigger. Do you know what? Okay, I didn't mean that. I don't want her life to be ended, no matter what, because that could happen. Because she has really had a fucked up life. But I don't know, just her whole life. I know her family, she feel, and because everybody is conditioned to think that the family that you were born into is a family that's going to care the most about you. Sometimes you need to create your family. Sometimes your family can just leech you dry. Or the family that or the people that you were born into. I call them relatives, because there's a huge difference between family and relatives. And sometimes your family you might not have been born into, but they do more for you than the people you were born into might ever have. And that's you know, people got, you know, people in their lives like that if you are open to it, and if you are selective and choosing genuine people. So even when watching her family, you know, everybody knows her brother, I guess his name is Teeny. I don't do reality shows, but I did catch like two episodes, I think, of her stuff, Fantasia for Fake. I know it's for real, but Fantasia for Fake. And her bitch ass brother, his name is Teeny. Like, he's going out test driving Ferraris, and he don't have a job. He concentrating on his music. This punk ass bitch of a brother. And then when he can't get her to pay for something that he wants, he throws a tantrum, a temper tantrum, like a child, a literal child. And she goes for it, because he'll say some shit like, you don't love me, you know, you got all these people after you, you don't love me like you say you do. Just get her to. And why her mom don't put the brakes on that shit? Why y'all put his ass out, make his ass homeless. He been making him a hobo. He'll grow up real fast. And his alleged girlfriend. Why do he have a girlfriend? Well, I know, because they're groupies, and they can be able to say, "Oh, I'm dating Fantasia brother." Fuck you bitches too. But anyway, so her little brother's a bitch. I don't know if her other brother is. She got all these people surrounding her that don't give a damn about her, really, because they are too selfish and materialistic, and I don't know, she just had a whole fucked up life. Now, the whole thing about her, they went through the thing about her book and the book that she wrote, and her dad sued her because he said it put him in a bad light. Well, let me tell you how the story went, just brief, if I can make it brief. Well, she said she acknowledged when she was like about 13, 14, you know, she was in school, and she noticed she got all this attention, so she would start wearing all this provocative clothes and shit. And her daddy told her, you know, you shouldn't dress like that. You know, boys will think certain things about you and you get a reputation, whatever. And she admits she was young and she was getting attention, so she was wearing this revealing shit. She was wearing a little short skirts and just showing as much skin as possible. Well, at around, I don't know if it was 14 or 15, one of them little misguided, unparented bastards that she went to school with caught her ass in the auditorium and raped her. Y'all saw my rape video. I don't condone that. In fact, any man that can do that to a woman is a bitch, you know, as far as I'm concerned. But it's a lot of, you know, I think a lot of dudes are bitches. But anyway, the fact is that they're out there in abundance, and there are so few real parents out there that they outnumber they outnumber the gentlemen and some of the even basically sane people. So anyway, this little boy catches her in the auditorium, rapes her. So she goes home and she tells her mom. Her mom, you know, cries with her. She's upset with her too. And her dad basically says to her, you shouldn't have been wearing that shit to school. I told you about wearing it. So they take that as him being insensitive. Yes, he's being insensitive. But the reality is, if she had not been wearing that shit to school, like I see these little girls running around here with their ass out, and they're not only just people their age, but pedophiles too. It could have been somebody they went to school with, or it could be just a random pedophile that just snatched your ass. And then all of a sudden, you think he's supposed to be like, I mean, I'm sure he's compassionate, but really, if he just break down and be like, you know, it wasn't your fault, it wasn't your fault. Bitch, it was your fault. I still love you. I hate that you're going through this trauma that I warned you about, that you didn't have to be going through had you listened to me. I know this ain't really the time to hear I told you so, but if you don't do that, then that basically justifies it. That means that every little girl whose dad says to her, you can't dress like that or things will happen that you can't handle, and then when those things, and they already know that I'm gonna do it anyway, because when that thing happens to me that I can't handle, they gonna be there for me. That pretty much nullifies all your warnings. I mean, from my perspective, from my, I guess, insensitive, what most of you would see as insensitive perspective. I mean, what is he supposed to say if he's been warning you every time you walk out of the house not to dress that way, because there are people out there very much like this little boy that raped you? I'm down with her daddy. He did the damn thing. So, you know, while your mom was crying with you, there should have been somebody. And if it had to be only one of two parents, at least you had somebody, you know, supporting you at the time. I don't think you should have been absolutely abandoned, you know, in your time of trauma. But you need to have a full understanding of the role that you played. Again, not your fault, but of the role that you played in that trauma. So, kudos to you, Dad. Too bad other people don't love her enough to tell her like it is.